everyone and welcome to Nerd Goblinart. It is once again Froggy Friday and we have the Froggy mould out. Now we're going to do something a little bit different, a little bit inspired by Karen from the Dragon's Cave. She's been doing a series of a few like rockstar froggies, and I had an idea. I ran it by her and checked that she was okay with me doing it, because I didn't want to like jump on the bandwagon or anything, but I have kind of. So anyway, that is acetate and this is a Posca pen. Now my apologies for being out of shot at this moment, but don't worry, I will move it up in a moment. This is a red Posca pen. These pens are acrylic paint based, and what I'm doing is creating a lightning strike. Now the clue is in the title, Froggy Stardust. Now David Bowie is one of my favourite artists of all time, and I just thought, you know, when I was watching a premiere with Karen from the Dragon's Cave when she was doing her amazing Froggy Mercury. Now, and I highly recommend you check that video out. There's going to be a playlist in the description below, and it will include her Froggy Mercury, so please give it a watch. It is brilliant. And her Froggy Marley as well is just brilliant stuff. So I'm using red, black and blue. I'm not gonna lie, probably acrylic paints might have been a bit better. It wouldn't have taken as many coats. You're only going to see me doing one coat with the Posca pens, but it did take, I believe, 3 coats. So I show you the one. There's no need to show you me going over it several times. So now that it's dry and I've given it several coatings, because I'm not sure how well the Posca paint will deal with going into resin, I'm going to give this a coating of UV resin just to seal the colour in, because I don't want it going running, I don't want it changing colour. I could have done a test, I suppose, but I do not like wasting resin, so err on the side of caution and sealing it in. I just thought that this was the best option. I'm aware that Ziggy Stardust lightning strike was just over his, you know, the front of his face, but I want this lightning strike to basically go down the body of the Froggo. So yeah, that's gonna be great fun. So I'm just making sure, and I'm using my UV torch here, and I give it a make sure it's gone over both front and back. And it's hard to pick it up. It is hard to pick acetate up off a silicone mat. So just making sure that it's cured on the other side as well. And you know, the best thing to do is just give it a little tap with maybe a dotting tool, you know, or you feel it. And making sure, you know, wear your gloves. You know, even if I hear a lot of people going, well, I'm not allergic to UV resin. Well, yeah, you still got to be careful. So wear your gloves. And with acetate as well, you're just going to get your fingerprints all over it. So this is going to be going in there. So for that, I need some resin. Now, this is Elixir from the Tiny Turner. I'm not actually going to paint this into the frog. This frog's going to be done in layers. And this is the first layer with the lightning strike. And when I was looking at Ziggy Stardust, in general, the makeup, his face had like a pinkish tone to it. Obviously not his skin colour, but it was a pinkish tone. So I'm using the Elixir and mixing it into the resin because I wanted to give it a slight tone, but nothing like boom in your face, because we still want to be able to see that lightning strike. And this is one of the pink non-sync glitters from Intoresin. It's a really, really pretty glitter actually. And it's one I've used quite a lot. And it does last. It really does last, you know, if you happen to get it. And there is a link in my description box below. And there's also a coupon code you can use. And at the moment, Intoresin are doing a 25% off, which is pretty awesome, I believe, till the end of December. So, you know, fancy treating yourself. And I am an affiliate as well. So, you know, treat yourself, treat me. So, whilst the resin is sitting in the debubbler, I've got some eyes. And going with the true, going with the, you know, David Bowie and Ziggy Stardust, the eyes are different. They're the same colour, but one eye is what would be considered the normal froggy eye, and the other eye is what would be considered the dilated pupilled eye. You know, because of course he had that condition where he was in a fight when he was a child, and he suffered that injury to his eye, which caused permanent dilation. You know, people thought, some people still do think, that he had two different colour eyes, but he didn't. It was just the dilated pupil. So there we go. So I'm popping those eyes in, again, using UV resin. And for a change, because I'm not going to be dusting in any colours, I don't lose an eye. So, yeah, it's quite an easy process, and you did see me draw a line on the eye that's more of a frog type eye, so I knew which direction the line was going. That is a good thing to do, so you don't make any mistakes that way. Right, I'm going to play some music for you now while I get on with loading up the Froggo with some UV resin.
Riffs that shake the universe, croaking tunes from another realm, earthlings hit with a cosmic curse. Froggy Stardust, sing it loud, make them earthlings feel the beat. From galaxies to stages bright, filling stars with your leap in light, with your leap in
Right, so this is cured now, and you can see that when I was doing it as my usual thing, I was putting in some isopropyl alcohol and using my heat gun. So this is the same day, but it's during the evening, and I wanted to give him a clear, not a clear coat. He's had his clear coat. I wanted to give like a whitish, pinkyish type tone. Admittedly, I wanted it more white, but I ran out of white. So I ended up using more of the rose gold, I think. Yes, rose gold, and this is white that I add in. I think I also end up adding a little bit of seashell white as well. But I'm quite happy with the tone. You know, it doesn't have to be... I was just going from pictures, you know, from Ziggy Stardust days and any album covers and such. So that's going to go into the debubbler. And now, I read somewhere once that Ziggy Stardust tended to... well, obviously, it was one of David Bowie's characters that he ran on tour and such. He was an alien. Well, I read that Ziggy Stardust favoured teal colours on his nails. Now, I don't know how true that is or what, but I just thought it was a bit of fun anyway. So I've pulled out teal from Let's Resin. Yes, from Let's Resin. And I'm just starting it. I'm not doing the whole foot. I'm just doing like the suction thingy, cappy things. We've really got to learn all the actual names and terms for these froggos. We do them, you know, weekly. But yeah, I'm just doing like the tippy of the toes and then slightly down like that. So if you are new, this is a collaboration that was started by Lisa from Girl in the Garage and from Karen from the Dragon's Cave, and they are very kindly letting a bunch of us hop along with them and take part with their Froggy FriYAY. It's great fun, and if you are new to YouTube and you've got you're making things as well, you know, feel free to, you know, drop a message to one of them on, you know, where they'll be listed in the description below, and join in. It's fun, and it's a nice way to end the week as well. So I'm happy with the Froggy's toes, and I'm being careful not to spray the actual toes with any isopropyl alcohol, but getting it up under that chin is a must. Isn't that a pretty colour? I made that. So that's just a mixture of the rose gold, white and seashell. And I really need to order some more white mica powder, so I will be getting onto that. So I'm using my silicone tool to make sure I'm getting up underneath the chin, and I also do the, you know, his bottom as well and his sides, and the heat gun is a useful thing too. And I do keep an eye on this Froggo for about half hour, 45 minutes, just to check for any of those dastardly bubbles that might arise. And we are going to use up the last of that resin as well. And we're going to do a tortoise. It's one of my favourites. And I haven't got this colour. And yeah, and I know I can see, obviously there is more resin there, and I am going to make a few more other little bits and pieces, and I'm probably going to share a few of them on the demold. It's always good. So I don't know what I was thinking. Basically, I put in way too much. I made too much resin just for that small bit of the frog. But you know, there's a way with these, the tortoise mould from Intoresin, because you're not to spray them, because you'll cut their life in half. So this is all cured, but I'm going to make you wait. So let's take a look at him. I love this tortoise. He's so pretty. Look at the speckles. It's really nice. I really love that colour actually. I also poured some little burbs These little burbs. Now, I had a little bit of leftover resin when I did the first pour on the frog with the Elixir pigment powder. So I poured that last little bit into the top of the bird and then just topped it off with the pink. It's really nice, actually. Isn't it pretty? I quite like that. I put these little things into a little pot on my desk, and when people order things from me, I always send like something extra, a little within the unless I use them for another project or within a project or such. But yeah, I like to send extra little extras along when people order from my website. So now it's time for Mr. Froggy Stardust. Now, I always find it easier with this mould is it's a trick that I have found personally that I get them out better is by releasing all their toes first and then making sure like under the chin is all loose and around his bottom as well, and then pulling out from the back legs first. See, so you just pull it over. And again, I did struggle a little bit with this one, and I have no idea why, because usually I don't. But I think it was just me being me. But yeah, it was probably the way I was holding it. So I always find getting those out first, and because I've already loosened the toes, it's just a case of pulling it over the head. And I don't think I even speeded that up for you, so that's quite not bad. Tiny little bit of overage there and there, but that you just saw came straight off. There we go. Are we ready? Come on, Lou. Ta-da! Check him out. I really love it. I love how that, that the acetate, just drawing the lightning strike on the acetate looks. It's so cool. And I really, really love that elixir. It's really pretty. I've never just put the tiny turn of pigments just mixed in before. So I need gloves. You didn't think we'd finished, had you? Do you like the little... It looks like a feather boa. Probably could have done a feather boa. Just a boa, giving him a feather boa. But, Ziggy Stardust had really funky hair. And I think Froggy Stardust would like some hair as well. I probably could have done with getting fur, if I'm honest. I could have found some potentially online. All I have is Hobbycraft, and they don't do everything that I need personally, and all I could find, the closest thing I could find, they didn't have any orange fur in. They had red fur, but it was too red. So this is like a feather. It's like loads of mini type feather things. So it's a bit difficult, and admittedly I wasn't entirely sure what I was doing. This is me winging it. I just figured the UV resin is going to get me there quickly, without too much mess. Could have gone down the road of snipping it somehow, but it's really weird, the ropey stuff that this is attached to, and it's all white as well, and I didn't think I'd be able to disguise it. So it's finding a good tuft, so to speak. I'm sure there was a better and easier way of doing this, but I am not one with materials. I'm not one with the wool and the crocheting. You witches, you are all witches with the crocheting and the knitting and all that stuff. I can't do it. I'm so cabby-handed, but you are all witches, honestly. You just la 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 la, and suddenly there's like a sweater. It is crazy. But I am not one with materials for sewing, knitting, crocheting. I'm just not there. So this is absolute winging it, and I think it's okay winging. I think I am winning. I won. This is winning, and look at him. With this bit of fluff. Oh my goodness. I'm broke. Just give him a little snip. Oh, and I'm not one for hair either. I don't do hair. I you know, the snippy thing. Look, snip, snip, snip. I'm doing the thing like they do in hairdressers when they like and do that and look like they're. I think hairdressers are witches as well. I just don't understand how. Ziggy Stardust, eat your heart out. It is Froggy Stardust. Yeah, baby. So, I was looking at it and I was like, he needs... Look at his eyes. Oh my goodness. Look at his colours. He's so amazing. That bit was too long. It's that or it's Blanca from, you know, Street Fighter. I should do Blanca from Street Fighter. Froggy Blanca, Blanca Froggy, Froggy Blanca, Froggy Street Fighter. Something like that, yes. Yes, that, I see a green, well, he is green. Most frogs are green. I see one in my near future. So, I realised or decided at this point that this guy, he needed a bit more to balance him out on that side. So out comes the bit of feathery fluffiness, just to put the tiniest little amount on the kind of above the other eye. It probably looked fine to anyone, but it wasn't like symmetrical type thing enough for me, and I knew that it would bug me. So once again with the UV resin, I hope I hope you guys like him. He was so much fun to make, and massive thanks to Karen, because you know she has been doing some amazing froggos, and as soon as I saw her Froggy Mercury, I suddenly thought, Froggy Stardust. So, you know, I did speak with her and she was like, go for it. No, go for it. So, awesome sport. But look at him. He's one of the best things I've ever made. I don't care what anyone says. He's amazing. He's mine. And I bet if David Bowie, bless his heart, was still here now, I bet he'd love it. Oh, look at him. He's had a hair snip. Get rid of the extra fluffy bits. We don't want the extra fluffs. There we go. It's crazy and it is kooky, and I think he is awesome. He's the best. Yes. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching. Love you and stay weird.
Nerd Goblin art draws a magic world with foxes that prance and badgers that dance. A whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide. In enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright. Each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush. Animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales they leap. In a realm where fantasy meets deep. The studio's alive with swirling paint. Creatures so pure they need no saint. Sketches of foxes with tails of light. Badgers with moonlit fur in flight. Gerald floats in a stream of dreams. Dragons shimmer with ethereal beams. Nerd Goblin's laughs fill the space. In every stroke there's a warm embrace. Nerd Goblin paints life